I'm ready.
Hey guys, welcome back. Lucid. I'm joined by Maryland.
Hi,
We got another
guys.
turn for you. Apparently, if it's possible to have fewer battles in a given turn, we have achieved it. We're down to only 6. So this will be a quick one. I think Maryland, we actually try to do a 2-fer here. I don't know what's in the next turn, but I think we aim for it. And we can, at the end of the 2-fer, I think we will still have time to talk about one of the other nations and their path to victory.
Yeah, we only have 2 messages. It's looking very quiet.
Who do you want to do for the next path to victory, so people can know what to stay tuned for?
I think we should do Ashdod. We start kind of from. We kind of started those with the least chance to win. I mean, they still have a chance, and Ulm is in the toughest situation in the game of the 5. But Ashdod is the next.
We'll do Ashdod at the end, so stay tuned for that. Message to the world. Ulm and Ashdod have agreed to a mutual defense pact. Wait, they don't neighbor each other. So an attacking or ending... a defense pact.
Defense pact. Yeah, they're doing the infamous...
The defensive alliance.
1913 shenanigans.
That actually is interesting, because I think they all share... Except for Pelagia, which I don't think Ashdod neighbors Pelagia.
Only in a small way, those bits of ponds.
Okay, they've both declared the same message. Look at this.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a move.
Interesting. That's not a bad move at all. As the 2 smallest nations that are still in play, supporting each other, signing an official, hey, if you get in trouble, I'll help you out. And then if they announce that publicly, it kind of says to the other 3, if I pick a fight with 1, I have to fight 2.
They might not do it unilaterally, but like Van and Pan may talk and be like, hey, which one do you want to kill?
Right. And if they did that and those 2 didn't support each other, because that's one of the possibilities right now that the top 3 nations could do is say, let's eat Ulm. And they all jump on Ulm and boom, game over for Ulm. But this provides Ulm and Ashdod a chance to say, hang on. I think this is a smart move. I
prefer that they would have... I mean, I don't know. I think for me, I probably wouldn't have done a pure defensive alliance, or if I did, I would have kept it secret. But... I mean, I think they have to work together. For me, that's like, yeah, of course they have to work together. But I worry that announcing it publicly is maybe going to trigger the other big nations to think they need to work together to kill the little ones.
Do you think those were public announcements? Can we tell
message
from
to
the
the
messages?
world?
They were to an every. But message to the world. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So...
All right.
Let's take a look. What happens in the Ulm and Ashdod areas of the world?
Well, Ashdod probably has nothing.
We got a battle in Satis.
But oh my!
Iron Angel with some pretty chatty gear, 25 attack. Woo.
And he's just going with his base weapons, but they're good. What does that Divine Grasp do? Is that a god
yeah.
on the Iron Angel?
It magic extra damage to magic damage.
Bane of Heresy.
Or extra damage to magic beings and Bane of Heresy. So, yeah.
Oh, ouch. Okay, I think we can see how this is going to go.
Not sure. Yeah, it could be Fog Warriors and then Air Elementals. I'm not sure. Yeah, or just Living Air. Or I don't think they'll do Storm. Yeah, Fog Warriors.
There's Fog Warriors. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't Storm because that's Iron Darts, Iron Blizzard going up.
Oh, what is this guy doing over here? Oh, he just ran forward.
Where's the Neater? He just ran right in. Oh, there's the
So
Neater.
It's got more gear than it had last turn, I think. It's got proper super combatant gear.
Very few gems.
Not proper, but
very few gems
and janky super combatant gear.
Yeah. Well, he's probably pretty low. Oh, that Black Lord's holding up.
Pillar of Fire is coming out.
Oh, he's on fire.
Just storms of Iron Blizzard.
Yeah, the troops are dying quick.
Oh,
So,
Iron Angel has landed on the god.
wow.
Probably was on attack flyer. I mean, it came down right on top of him, or on attack largest. Has not fatigued the god out though, and is kind of getting spanked a little bit.
Yeah, can he? Is the soul vert? Does it work on an Iron Angel? It's not a construct, is it? Oh, okay.
It's regenerating, but it's getting. I just got the dog shit slapped out of it. But it's about to be joined by its comrades.
Well, and that was an axe of hate on the Black Lord.
Oh, I don't think I. Oh, an axe of sharpness.
Axe of sharpness. Okay.
My dog's making weird noises, like he's probably breaking something. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let the battle keep running. You commentate.
Okay. All right. I'll just keep comment. Oh, wow. Oh, I wish I could click on it, but it sure is looking like that Neater is taking a beating, and the Iron Angel is holding up. The only thing is the troops are making it a little easier for the Neater to stay alive, because he's soul vortexing the chaff. Huh. Well, definitely on the fun side. Yeah, this is taking a bit of work.
Ooh.
It's taking a bit of work. Oh, there it goes.
Just in time.
Poof. Yeah, something got in the Neater. You'd have to go to your F1 there. I don't know what was the final hit.
Oh man, he's lived a hard life.
Oh. He has. Wow. So what
A sort of sharpness, yeah.
The Iron Angel, the Shaman hit it with. Oh, it got it with a Soul Slay. Do you see that? The Shaman hit it with a Soul Slay.
Wait, it didn't do any damage. Yeah, it resisted.
Oh, it resisted.
I think it was a short sort of sharpness that killed it.
Yeah.
Well, this Titan was the Titan that was expanding with Satis with evocations, doing Thunderstrike and Lightning Bolt and shit with a few people on Guard Commander. Yeah.
That Titan did a lot of work in this game. A tremendous amount of work. I wonder what its kills were.
Let's go check. As we remember all that was Satis here.
Yeah, turns and turns.
Not that many. 450.
Well, yeah.
It's no
quite a few
daydream.
But I wonder if because it got a lot of kills from Winds of Death after it did
those
returning.
May not count.
I wonder
those
if
may not count.
They may not count. Because I would have thought it would be up around the thousands. Well, that was clean.
Recruited a few Sobek too.
Was clean. He didn't lose. He didn't lose a single thug. I thought the Iron Angel and the Black Lord would get killed, and they actually held up.
And you notice there were no mages here, right? Olmaz killed all the mages with Earth Attack, which
exactly.
I mean, he basically paid full. I mean, it's like the buyout button on Civ or whatever, right? Like you can do the production normally, or you can click buyout, and he's bought it out. He's just paid full retail price to kill everything in here.
And now he gets all that juicy income and excellent gems. This is, and all that's left is a few serpents. That's it.
And Marshmaster.
And maybe one or two Marshmasters, but that's not going to be a challenge. I don't think there's any hope of. There's really no chance at all of Satis calling the god back again.
Yeah. So, there's a buildup of Pangaean troops on the border, and we know Pan's thinking about, maybe fighting Ulm soon. So,
Pan still, I think we've said what we have to say about Ulm Satis. Pour one out for Satis. Well played. Is Coconut still running it? He never
he played it to the end. Right? What a champ. What an absolute champ.
Good job. Yeah, good job. We got to do these exit interviews.
Okay, so on the topic of Pan, we have a battle in Inn's fort with Inn showing nothing well scripted inside. The Bahamut's back. And it's
Right.
actually kind of good it died, because this is definitely a better form than being a Veti Hag white mage.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe
But it
that's why
does,
he did that.
it's not even scripted. It does raise dead? So death 3 mage?
What? Oh no. Oh no. No gems,
Well,
no
part of it,
script.
he couldn't script it because he just got it back this turn. Okay.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
if he had
Right.
it scripted for anything, he's just going to do what it was doing the previous turn.
Yeah, he couldn't do
Leech.
anything about that. Lots of imps. Blood Rain. What's the blue one?
Maybe
Blue
team
battle
colored squares so
enchantment
people
just
can
went
see.
out. Oh, that'll
Yeah,
be...
we'll take a look. We got Wailing Winds.
I think that's Grip. I think
Add it
Grip
to
of
the
Winter from
golden
the Ice Devil.
order. The fuck?
Did he
I guess he
empower
did
it?
Death and Power on one of these guys. I think he maybe he mentioned that. Not that guy. This guy. Yeah.
Whoa!
Double Death and Power.
Holy
Or no, it
crap!
did Power the Spheres. It did Power the Spheres. Okay.
Holy crap! Well, that's an interesting way to put together a Wailing Winds caster.
It's not cheap, but Wailing
Wow.
Winds is a good spell.
It is. Plus, he's got Blood Rain.
All right.
So
The-
double whammy on
The front gate has been compromised.
Boom. Are those white centers? They are. Look at them.
Take a look at some of their
roaring in.
buffs on these guys. Lucky, not blessed, because who needs to bless your white centaurs? Gone berserk,
Yeah, sure. Why?
poison resistance.
Oh my gosh. And looks like some in things are running already. Yeah, the lions are running. Some of the
He's got a lot of people on guard commander. That's interesting. He's like, we'll just hit him with the lifelong protection. Y'all can come to us.
Well, and yeah, and the magic will do the
Yeah, it
job.
risks some things. Like, this guy could kill an infinite amount of imps, you know? So, he needs to have enough things on advance and cast that he'll be able to kill the god. The only good thing is this guy only has 10
What round are we
protection. But he didn't get, I don't think he got
Yeah,
the vulnerability off. Yeah. Or Earth Skin, yeah.
No buffs, no gear. And he's already fatigued out.
So he will die. If he had Soul Vortex and the right buffs, I think he actually... he might not have been able to kill him. Wait, the hell? A Mind Slime horror? That he charmed.
Where'd the horror come from? Oh, where'd the horror come from? Somebody cast Call Horror.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I wonder if... Huh.
Astral Blood Mage somewhere. Well, it might have been one of Aiden's.
He might have done Hell Power too. I'm not sure. It's gonna take us too long to find out, but that's weird.
Yeah. And it's not a terribly interesting battle, sadly.
No, it I mean, we didn't really. Let's see what N did. Let's make sure if N did stuff, we'll pay attention. Did he do elementals? He might have.
I'm not seeing anything terribly interesting.
There's one big Earth elemental.
Like he's got all those Abbot Magus, but
Yeah, oh, we didn't finish going through the list of things we got. So we had Wailing Winds, we had Grip of Winter, we had Relief, we had Blood Rain, we had Howl, we had Foul Vapor. So literally every single one of these is pans. Yeah, and is rolled over and died.
Yeah,
That's fine.
what did that Ice Devil do?
I
Nothing.
didn't do anything.
He didn't
I
do
think
anything.
he's just hitting in turn.
Yeah.
Which,
Okay.
as a sub,
right.
when it gets this bad, that's kind of your prerogative, I think. And it's better if you don't.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
whatever. Thank you for subbing.
And this is the second turn that Pan ran in there with some Maenads. I guess he's just trying to do some attrition.
Probing it down, maybe gym burning
I
or
wonder what
something.
the
This time there wasn't all of the mages. Last time there were a bunch of mages patrolling, but
Oh, good grief. Oh, that's the patrolling force. Yeah.
he stormed
Okay.
this fort, which had nigh anything in it. He's cracked the throne, so I'll be storming that. Yep, this is over.
It's over. Game over.
But that's nothing new.
And he cleared those. No, this has been building.
Okay, next, let's go to Ashdod. Oh, wait, no, we've already done that. But let's look at Ashdod.
Yeah, he's just... We're probably seeing upgraded forts. I'm seeing.
So he's taken this from Pelagia. So his deal with Pelagia was that he's going to get all this land, apparently.
Right, and Pelagia would just keep the water. That was the deal they mentioned. Oh gosh, it would be 10 turns ago or more now.
So okay.
And he's not moved on Uruk
Big
yet.
Scary pile of Sair here. So blood economy going.
Lots of patrolling. Blood hunting.
I kind of want to look at his research in context of, we know about when Pangaea started getting 7s.
Yes.
And that was about probably, well, let's take a look at the province graph once it started. This is when they started going crazy right here. So right beneath the sea on Ascension.
Yes.
And I don't think he had 7 until like right here. I think he started getting like weapons. Oh no, he probably had it right here. And then here, I think he had weapons of sharpness and mass protection.
And Ashdod rolled out some 7s about 12 turns ago. Maybe a couple of them.
I don't know. What 7 have we seen from him? We just saw Wrathful Skies, and that's not a 7, that's a 6.
It's only a 6. So I thought I saw Fog Warriors.
I don't think so.
But maybe I'm mistaking that.
So
yeah, you're right.
I think
it might
now
be just
he's got 2 7. He could have 3 7s now, I think, is where we are. So that's good. That's enough research where he can do things.
Well, and his slope is still increasing.
Yep.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Only a little bit.
It's angling up. You know, it's steeper here than it was back here for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's buying Magi, putting them on research. He's either forging items or something along those lines.
Okay, so that's that. Vanheim, probably not a lot to look at. Building up troops.
Just dealing with a little bit of... Dealing with some independence. Some really big blood hunting going on.
See an Archdevil
he's
here.
Not spamming massive numbers of forts.
We
might be finishing off some little bits of site
this
searching.
Group...
You know, you might have
this group is here not in a fort. I expect he's going to move it down to this fort this turn, as he's preparing to go to war with the fish. So we'll see what happens there. Is fort's under siege?
Not a lot to talk about.
I think that's it.
Not a lot, and I don't see any action from the fish. So
let's go to the next turn.
Or did you want to do that little discussion
after 73?
About Ashdod.
Yeah, it's going to be a twofer. Okay, because we're only at 18 minutes. I think we can.
I thought it was 72. Or
we did 72. This was. I think this is the next one. Yeah, because they're responding to this defensive alliance.
Okay. Want me to read or you?
Why don't you go for it?
The Alm Ashdod defensive thingy is interesting for me in that it gives Alm an extremely strong incentive to not attack me first unless Ashdod is already on board with invading me, which he's not since we have an NAP. This means I can leisurely kill Ind, up my blood economy, spam vampires, steal Alm's globals, and do an alpha strike if I find a situation where I'm not worried about fighting Ashdod. Okay. Vanheim and I should be closer in income now. We already saw that. He's ahead on gems still, somehow, while I'm on par or ahead in terms of cash. He's probably ahead on slave income, but I should be able to even that out with my Vortex and Mount Chaining Vampire Lord spam. Yeah, getting Mount Chaining. Wow. The thing is, he is definitely ahead in terms of actual power right now, because I just finished a pretty hard fought war while he's been relaxing with easy fights ever since he backed off from me. That's true. This means his sacred count is up, he's lost a lot less gold, and spent a lot fewer gems. And he's had the luxury of Storm Demon span. Not only that, but since my income gains are more recent, the integral of his income is much higher. So in addition to losing less, he's accrued a lot more. Pelagi is in an even more extreme version of this, but he had a lot less income. He's just lost basically nothing and could have already started his wish engines.
Could have.
Opinion, it's not really worth.
Marilyn, it's turn 73. Yeah, this shit's been running for 22 turns.
Yeah, I believe he's been wishing for about 22 turns. Yeah, I agree with you. Though, in my opinion, it's not really worth doing that before putting up Nexus unless you have an alteration site, which would give him a sort of hidden gem income. I think his analysis is off here. I definitely think his analysis is off.
Yeah, so every time he wishes for gems, he gets 12 free gems, basically. So exactly. If you have an alteration site, the returns go through the roof. But
so I'd like to, before we move on to his next message, pop to the income graph for a second and comment about his thing about the integral. Sure. So it's been a while, but basically, if we look at the pan and so what we're talking about is the area under the curve, and to be honest, the area under the curve for Van is not as much bigger than Pan thinks it is. It's only a little bit. It's just this portion. If you were to crisscross just where he's a little bit higher. So it's only been the last 10 or so turns Van has had more cash than Pan.
But it's not as much difference. The area in this whole thing is probably 15,000 gold or something. So it's significant. But
it's significant. I just think, but then for a long time he had a major advantage. If we look back, he had
gem income. It's a little different.
Now on the gem one, that's like, if you average, I bet you that's almost triple the total number of gems, and that doesn't include blood slaves that don't show here. That is a hell of a lot of gems that Vanheim's been accumulating for a long time. Because we can clearly see the end of the Vanheim Pangaea war on that graph.
We finished this first one, right? Yeah. Okay.
We did, yeah. If Ashdod and Uruk both agree, I'm going to make an army limited to the gold gem cost of what Uruk has available, and then fight Nick in an honorable scripting challenge. It's not actually going to be fair, since I have a pretty extreme research advantage and complete diversity, but sometimes vague approximations of fairness are all that you can get. That's fun. Yeah, so this is just a fun little, let's finish this off with a Battle of Champions. I mean, they could do this with something like bring out your best thug, size 4 max or something, and do it that way. Funny. But it's fun. It's a fun idea.
Yeah, but it's also a way that Uruk can stay in the game. Because he could win.
Yeah, and maintain some. He could.
Okay.
Is there anything...
we can read the Vanheim thing. We're not... Yeah. So he has not ended his nap with Pelagi.
I'm still undecided on who to go to war with next, but I'm still leaning towards going for Pelagi. My strength is building up quickly with summoning Vampire Lords, Liches, Archdevils, and Storm Demons. I have Blood 8 and will have Conjuration 8 next turn. So most of the big mass summons, I'm trying to remember in Blood Magic, do they come at...
the big ones...
Do they come at 8?
You mean the mass demon summons? Those are at 9.
The mass demon summons, are they at 8?
9, yeah.
They're at 9, yeah. Okay.
My pretender's wishing for power, mostly to get plus 50 HP, so he can better be used in combat without risk of dying. The other stat boots are just nice. So he's got a pretty cool pretender. It's the...
Oh, sorry for dropping that. I jumped over to the mod inspector briefly. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's probably easier to twice-born and get a better chassis that way, but that's one way to do it. I actually don't... I wonder how the plus HP you get from wishing gets used if you twice-born, but...
I don't know. Yeah, wishing for power. There's the magic power and the plane power.
This turn, I'm also demolishing my cap fort in order to replace it with a citadel using the 5 red second spell. That will speed up my cap-only mage production by 50% and make it even easier to get more sacreds when I get more temples. So yeah, that's pretty clever.
That's a good choice. Yeah. Yeah, the red, I mean, the fort from Wizard Tower and 3 red seconds are superb forts.
And, 3 red seconds is special for being a citadel, which gives you an extra commander point. So he'll be able to get more cap-only mages.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So, let's see if Vanheim is... because you actually have to have it dead for a turn. You can't destroy it the same turn that you build it.
No, you can't cast it until it's empty. Where the heck did Vanheim go?
Ursia, Vanheim. Where the hell is it? But we can probably tell where's... Okay. End. That would mean Vanheim, right? Or no, Pythium, and then up from them is... This is Vanheim. Okay, so yeah, Fortless.
There it is. Okay. Yeah, so he trashed it, and next turn we'll see it come back up as a citadel. Okay. That's a play that I'd not thought of doing, and I've been in some games where that would make sense.
Yeah, I've done it a few times.
But you need enough peace. You need a brief interlude of pretty much clear peace, so you don't get it wiped out instantly. Because if somebody saw that and then airdropped on top of it, the 3 red seconds would go up first. But if you airdropped, it would have no defense, because it due to the turn order, you end up with a fort with 0 defense for 1 turn. So I've done that in the past when trying to grab a throne. It's still worthwhile, because if you've got a good army inside, they have a moment. So it could delay somebody stopping a throne rush. There's a funny mechanic there related to that.
So that's good. We don't have any word from him on who he's going to fight, though. So I guess we're going to have to sit here and wonder.
No.
Let's go ahead and look at these two, and then we'll come back and look at Ashdod.
Sure.
So no real movements. Nothing. They're just doing economy stuff, which is important, but it's not much for us to look at.
And nobody's forming giant doom stacks on the border. Well, there we go.
A crystal citadel. Oh, did we not notice that?
Oh, that's the crystal mage.
I guess I...
Yeah, we knew he had...
I don't think I remember that, actually, but okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember seeing very many of the crystal... Well, hold on. This is the infamous fort from early in the game that got wiped out by turn 8 or whatever by an independent event. Isn't that the province?
I cannot remember.
I'm sure that's the province.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure, because the inn's capital is just southeast of it. He went over here, and if you remember back about turn 8 or 10, he was trying to build a fort there, and while he was building it, he had an independent attack that wiped out that fort. And arguably, that set...
I'm just going to make sure it was still here a while ago, real quick. We're on 73.
Well, you might have just found it by site searching.
And... Oh, no, he's had it. Okay, I just am dumb.
Yeah. I also don't remember seeing him using the crystal.
Yeah, I can't really think of him using them either.
Very much.
And they would have been great when he needs, Earth Magi to do Earth Elementals for fatigue plays or whatever.
But don't you get also sages from that one?
No, you don't. That's a different one.
That's not the one. No, just the crystal mage. Yeah, I don't remember seeing crystal
mage.
It's
okay. He's gone a long way to knocking it down. It's got 1,000 wall integrity, but he's got probably 700 siege strength on top of it. This Well of Pestilence is getting worked through, and Pan doesn't actually really care about it because everything Pan cares about has recuperation, so the disease doesn't matter.
That's true.
He stormed this, has taken this throne, this outer throne. That's going to put him at 4 thrones.
4? Yeah. Things are very balanced on the thrones.
kind of just comparing this to some game I'm in where somebody already has 4 thrones. It's like they're finally getting to this point where people have 4. I mean, I guess they could have had it sooner, but people have been very cautious about getting too many thrones. Wisely.
What a quiet turn.
So that's Pan. Just mopping up the last event. Let's do Ashdod. You want to read the message?
Entering a diplomatic Cold War era, it feels like. Everyone closing wars to stare at each other and dare someone to move first. Van in the lead and furiously turning the Storm Demon crank. Pan wrapping up, consolidating, and indicating he's going to put up Blood Vortex. Pelagia presumably hoarding and converting pearls for Nexus. Alm finishing Sadis, trying to bootstrap into Blood and probably making artifacts to try to aid in the hidden gem war we are in now. The charts are being shared pretty freely in Diplo, so no one is in the dark. Okay. That info contributing heavily to Diplo and attempts to balance. Near term, I remote sightseeing everything during this lull. Got the 3 Citadel on Misfortune Throne via e-search. Oh, nice. Isn't that nice? Nice to have the 3 CP and the Wizard is amazing cross-pass diversity for me. Yeah, that's the Earth Astral Wizard. Had similar luck on Iron Throne with the Magus site for little F1E1 S1 Magi. Well, those are good. Claiming both thrones this turn. We'll want some S3 Iron Magi's for easy gateway logistics and forging some leadership gear, considering Well of Misery. But I don't like the Inca boost to the leaders that are larger than me. That's a good point. Long term, looking at bootstrapping into an Air 2 into a shed.
Those are basically Storm Demons that aren't ethereal but are stronger with more hit points.
Right. Okay. I'll look them up, but I'll finish reading this. Which should one-up the Storm Demon's higher hit point pool with mass regen. Plus magic weapons to counter their ethereal, casting Call of Wild for patrol chaff, and getting every blood mage to a hunting site, exploring the Construction 8 online compendium for late game tricks. Yeah, so maybe something like a golem with, what's it called? The Gift of Kurgi. I think it's golems that works good on. Or an old one was the golem
the horror
with
harmonica.
That scythe that gives you, or the horror harmonica, or the scythe that gives you death gems. Or anyways, there's some funky stuff. Wondering if I have the endurance and real life time for late game finals.
We'll find out.
Well, you might want to grab a helper. Yeah, you might want to grab a helper. So where's those shed him? Here they are. Oh yeah, these guys, but they don't fly.
No, they fly.
They walk.
Like they do fly. They're just not ethereal.
Yeah,
they have more strength and they have more hit points.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they're very, very similar. Pretty sure with Van and Pan in the lead and blood hunting hard, we'll see Astral Corruption after Pelagia's Nexus. Unfortunate for me with my unique summons. If this turns into a competition on blood terms alone, then I can't compete with Van. But if both blood and my astral summons remain in play, I feel I have a shot. Okay.
Well, and I think compete with Pan, because and I don't know who all knows this, but Pan has Mount Chaining, which is ridiculous. So
that's right. But I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I don't know who knows that. Mind tricks don't work on me.
Mind tricks don't work on me. The Raphite Commander.
The Raphite Commander. And what's the other one there?
He's got
the other fun name. Power, unlimited power.
He's got, let's see which one. He got this throne. So the Iron Throne. This has the Magus Temple, which he's pretty stoked. God, this is such a, look at this. It's 2, 3, 8, 9, a 9 gem site. Wow. We've probably commented on this before, but hot damn.
We have. Yeah, you noticed.
And this is the throne he just got with the Castle Arcanum. What a boss.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of free gold.
So,
well,
yeah, I think the silver lining, I think, for Ashdod, and if astral corruption goes up and he's going to be competing with all the other blood powers on how much blood stuff he can produce, he may not be getting the most blood slaves, but you can argue that the Shed and the Sair are the best way to turn blood slaves into power out of any of the blood nations. So, yeah.
Pretty darn good. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he's in a pretty good... I mean, he's in a... It would have been amazing if he could have finished this war with Zabalba sooner. Maybe he could have messed with Pangaea and settled a little bit better borders before Pangaea had finished End. But
perhaps
he's got what he wants now, which is by turn 70 something, he's finished. He had the war with Nabaa. So, okay, yeah, he's got his third cap. His final wars are closed, and he gets to now be a pretty big player and do some economy stuff.
To be honest, if I was him, I'd actually want to be taking over the Uruk fort. I don't think I want to let Pan have that. That Debrithia.
Well,
I think
he's going to have a hell of a time blood hunting and trying to get his blood economy going fighting Pan, though.
No, I just meant Pan indicated it's a diplomatic discussion.
Right I thought
now.
You meant the Uruk here. You meant this one. Yeah.
No, Debrithia.
Yeah, how would Pan even get to it?
If I was... Well, I guess he'd have to sneak over and... Yeah, I don't think Pan has a very legitimate claim to it. So if it was in diplomacy, I'd be saying, no.
Maybe this is Pan's way of getting into a war with Ashdod. Maybe he's like, I want this so I can get to this. And then Ashdod's like, no. And then, they have a non-aggression pact, but, who knows?
Well, there's an underlying theme to much of what Sai has been writing to us is that I really don't want to stop fighting. I want to keep going. He doesn't really want to pause. He wants to keep fights going of some kind.
Yeah, you can tell even in this downturn of there's not a ton of stuff to do. He's looking for fun things to do, like to fight Nick in an honorable 1v1.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's Ashdod. Not much to talk about. Have they finished off Satis? That is the other...
He's moving towards it.
Yeah, he's got a stack coming this way. Oh, this is all that's left of the Satis army. Let's see what happened.
Satis rolled it out. Whatever he's got.
Foul Vapors, Swarm Spam, his PD, into the Olmish Meat Grinder.
Fire. Olm had a fair bit run away. Pillars are hurting,
and he's got Serpent's Blessing up, so
yeah. All right, game over.
That I think the Satis army graph has finally hit rock bottom. It'll be at zero.
Pretty, yeah. Zero. It's at zero. It's over.
Yeah,
it is over.
So that's that war drawing to a close, and we talked last time about Ulm's Path to Victory. If y'all missed it, go back and check it out.
I think we've discussed everything on the map that's of interest.
So I think we're on to the Ashdod Path to Victory.
Well, he just shared a heck of a lot of it with us. He's going to go hard for the blood troops. He's concerned about can he get his prep done with his astral summons either after or before astral corruption goes up. So it sounds like he's kind of thinking, I want to turn my pearls into the big Merkavas and Ophans and all those big, expensive but amazing astral summons he's got. If he can get those now before a corruption goes up, that'd be a great move, is to get himself ahead of the game there. Because he can keep putting the Sheds and the Sayers up just fine.
And, controlling Well of Misery would be nice. But...
those things have some pretty hefty paths. Astral Fire, Astral Nature. I suppose one way to do it would be if he can do it. He's got the Iron Magi now. He could arguably put up a Golem and then boost that column with gear, empower it in fire, and use it to cast them later on. That just occurred to me as a way to keep being able to summon his Astros.
Yeah, that's a way to do it.
I don't think anybody. I'm looking at these Merkavas, 222 pearls.
Yeah, well, you get a bunch of stuff. You get a bunch of stuff with that. You get, it's like a bargain bin.
Four Opans.
Yeah.
Well, I remember people used to say it's more cost effective to wish for these guys. I'm not sure.
I mean, if you get the Ophan, you can Gift of Reason them. They become Holy 3. It's something you may do. I think, too, for them, one thing they'll think about, especially if they get Well of Misery, is with all those death gems, they can get Wraith Lords. And Wraith Lords are one of those things that are going to be mostly immune to Dryad bullshit. They have 30 morale, so they're never going to lose the seduction attempt, and they're always going to go to assassination battle. And then in an assassination battle, they're pretty good. One thing, I don't know if Sai will do it, is you can cast maggots at them, and that will tend to kind of kill them. But if you put regen on them, they'll survive maggots. And then you can also do like a water bottle, and I think a water bottle, or you can give them like a charcoal shield. But you can kit these guys up so that they are easily completely immune to even like giga strong dryads.
Well, I'm just looking here at his national spells, and I'm not super familiar with these, but alternately he's got this Banquet for the Dead. With a Malik, which is a death
that. That's a good option too.
With Ditano,
what's their morale?
The Malik
30. Okay, great. Yeah,
30. They're not immortal, but they're sacred. They're ethereal. They're pretty nice. Seems to me that's a little better bargain than Wraith Lords.
That's a great option too, I think. So,
yeah, and then he's got Dirge of the Dead, which just summons a single Ditanu. But since he's going for Conjuration 8, the Banquet of the Dead gives him 1 Malik and 4 Ditanu for 55 death gems.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
That's actually pretty good price.
Okay. So,
what else?
I think, too, this is a little bit of the situation, like, let's take a look at his graphs. He's got provinces. Keep flashing him up. Okay.
Make sure Ulm's on, too, because we're kind of comparing the... You could turn Satis off now.
So he's right here.
So he's...
Income... He's the lowest, but not by much. Gem income, he's third.
No. Gem income, he got a big boost these last few turns.
Yeah, I think he should chill and
research
and get some of this stuff he's gonna need to win these next battles. A lot of that, I think, is like 30 morale commanders to help deal with the Dryad seduction if he ends up fighting Pan. The way I would approach it too with Ashdod that I've liked is you'll have some assassin chaff, but mostly you're going to have commanders that are unassassinable. And you roll out these stacks of maybe some siege chaff with like maybe 2 lines of Sayer and a group of people on guard commander, and then some kind of, retail mages, like the sages can be pretty good doing Pillar of Fire or whatever. Those you don't care about losing. But
he's got a number of choices of independence. The Irons and those Magus. So all of them pretty low cost.
Yeah. So I think you get like a couple Golden Armada kind of things. Like you get a couple stacks that are just going to be almost impossible to fight. Do
you think it's worth it for him to consider something in the globals?
Oh, he's talked about Blood Vortex just went up.
So the Vortex is up.
Yeah, he's talked about trying to do Well of Misery, but I don't know. We're also getting to the point in the game, like how if you put so many, is what you were saying too. Like if you put a certain amount of gems in it that you're going to need to maybe keep it up, like will it pay itself off before the game ends?
Are there enough terms? Yeah, are there enough terms of the game?
And then you have to think about like when are those gems more useful? Like if I get to spend 600 gems, do I want it front loaded when I get to use it, or do I want it back loaded? Right. So
right, like one that isn't up that could be significant is say Gift of Nature's Bounty, where you're turning gems into ungodly amounts of gold. But that's a different kind of spell.
Well, that's one of the plays Pan may choose to make later.
I was thinking of Pan when I mentioned that, but I don't see the only global that it seems to me might be somewhat useful for Ashdod would be maybe Looming Hell. If you had it ready and you stockpiled slaves and somebody invades you, you toss up Looming Hell and suddenly you're annoying.
So let's look at potential conflicts that Ashdod could get in, because I think Ashdod wants to chill mostly for now, but when he gets into war, because that will obviously need to be the next phase, he wants to get bigger without somebody else winning, I think is what it is. So if he fights Pelagia, he's going to cut off a lot of... Basically, it's going to be hard for him to fight Pelagia while anybody else does. He basically needs to do a solo operation. Because he would cut off Van's attack. He would cut
Pelagian border is Pelagian border is somewhat easy to attack into. It's not heavily forted. There's very, very little for significant garrisons.
Right, and we also know that Arco playing Pelagia is not wedded to any of the land provinces. He says, I'm not going to die on a hill defending any of this land stuff. He may not fight. Now, he's not going to give it up for free. He's going to raid and mess with you and look to screw you over if you, so I don't think you casually take it, but, if he fights Vanheim, for example, I think Vanheim will die on a hill for a lot of this territory. So
I'm also wondering if he goes for Vanheim, he has some potential to sort of make himself a bit elf-proof by blood hunting in every 5,000 plus province and being sure that his blood hunters are counter thug. I mean, that's something you could do. A more classic thing I've done with that is, say, using Scratty, because if you get to blood 8, I guess, Claws of Kokotos, every damn Scratty can throw Claws of Kokotos and send any thugs off to Kokotos. And then there's the similar one in Fire,
right? The
Blood Fire spell.
I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with blood that makes it really hard to thug.
You got Life for Life and even Leech. So anything that's big enough to bother blood hunting, 1 or 2 cheap blood hunters could be a major deterrent to being elfed.
Yeah.
And that's something that...
I think if he fights Vanheim, the issue is kind of more what you're talking about. Like, can he win the raiding war? Because I feel like once he has the important technology, especially once he gets Alt 9, I think... And I don't know if he said he has Alt 8. He didn't. So I think once he gets Alt 9, he should be able to ruinously win the Doomstacks fights.
I think he could outfight Van in the Doomstack.
And then the question is, will he win the raiding or not?
So,
because like you think about it, does he have magic weapons? Okay,
not
that's
on
it. So the Sayer don't get it. Oh,
he went for magic. No, he went for magic resistance. If you remember.
Well, okay.
He does have dark vision, though.
Yeah.
So that does help with.
Well, the Sayer have dark vision anyway, so it's not optimized for Sayer. But Ashdod doesn't normally get blood access, so you don't normally build your bless around Sayer. But and Anakites, I think, get magic weapons. Or I could be wrong.
Not sure.
Yeah, they do. So you wouldn't take it for them. So it makes sense.
Well, and he did say he's going to start getting sheds
Yeah.
instead. So,
Yeah.
they've got lightning bolts, which
Yeah.
will get through glamour.
Yeah, mix of Sayer and Shed. Probably be pretty good against these guys. Yeah.
It's not a bad matchup. It's not a bad matchup for Ashdod if it
So
came
I think
to
if
it.
he powers up for like 7 turns and then goes in with a buddy to fight Vanheim, it could go pretty well. The thing he has to be careful about is throwing the game to Pan while he goes for Vanheim, because like Pan could get this thrown.
Right.
Pan could also come and backstab him and get this. Like Pan can go for some pretty spooky stuff.
There's definitely that timing and situation that, if he could get himself ready to pounce as soon as he sees action amongst the three top players. But I would be hesitant if I was playing Ashdod to poke the bear. I don't think he wants to poke a bear. I prefer to take initiative, but sometimes there just isn't a good move for initiative.
So I think for fighting Vanheim, it comes down to basically having these doom stacks that Vanheim can't fight, and being able to deal with the counter rating. I think for Pelagia, it comes down to being able to deal with the Dryads efficiently. And that's like where you want the Wraith Lords and all of these, or anything. It doesn't have to be Wraith Lords. It could be the Daitanu or any of the things that have 30 morale for your leaders.
Yeah. If he ends up with a fight with Pan, he has to deal with seduction, no question, and charming seducers.
But we're also at this phase where it's going to be really. This I think is the thing. I think it's one of the reasons that late game can slow down a lot. Is there's a couple forces at play. One of the forces at play is it's going to be hard to eliminate a player. And unless you eliminate them, they're going to be fighting you. So, like, when you're looking at, okay, well, let's go on Pan. Like, can we eliminate Pan? And, if you can only take a bite out of him, maybe you can peace out and be okay. Maybe, they're not going to peace with you. Maybe they're going to want it all back. And the other thing that you can run into is you can get in. It was something actually I was commenting on in the Machaca series, which went up on my channel. I just finished uploading. But when you're in small games, you can get into stable coalitions, which basically means if you're good at throwing the coalition off, they say, oh, well, we can't give up because he clearly needs to be coalitioned. And so they double their efforts, right? And if they kill you, then they're like, great, we needed a coalition to kill them, and then the greed will take over and they'll finish you off. And it's kind of like a no-win situation for you. Whereas normally there's people to backstab and the coalition can shift and break up and all this stuff. And Sai actually commented in that video, and he's like, it's not like only limited to 9-player games. It has to do with the number of players which are currently active in the game, which, of course, is true. And that's one of the things you get to in these late game situations. So people have to be careful that they don't find themselves in an XV1 where they're the one and it's a stable coalition. So that's the other thing.
Yeah, because we are down to a 5-player game.
Right.
And all the players are not hugely apart in size.
Yeah.
Like, just right from economies, they're all fairly close. Not as big a gap as sometimes you get when I've seen a game come down to the last few players. I've seen bigger gaps, that's for sure.
So what do you think the odds are of Ashdod pulling this off?
Okay. I think they're better than Ulm because Ashdod has a more powerful tool set. Like a more powerful late game tool set. And he has a significant blood economy because he lucked out with enough garnets. So that significant blood economy makes him more robust if astral corruption goes up. He's got quite a solid amount of astral. And then he lucked out with some serious extra diversity just these last 2 turns. So to give him credit, some of it's luck. He also saved himself a huge pile of gold by getting free forts. And then huge sites for gems. So he's probably got absolutely good gem income in all 8 paths. I think he's in better shape.
Yeah.
So I'd give him I don't know, maybe a 30% chance that he.
Oh, that's pretty generous. I was thinking more like 10. but
It is.
yeah.
Well, I didn't want to go less than 10
Okay.
for Ulm's chances, and if Ashdod's
Okay.
chances are better than Ulm, then they have to be
Yeah.
20 or something. Like, I don't think you could ever. I don't know if anybody has less than a 10% chance to win a game by this point, because all kinds of stuff could happen, just shifting the whole meta, the whole dynamic, not the meta.
Okay.
But anyways, those are just ballparky figures, and they're not based on
Yeah.
any mathematical
I feel
analysis.
like they've got a real shot to win. And they have things. This is one of the ways I like to think about the game is like, do you have any kind of durable, this is like a Warren Buffett thing, right? But like, do you have a durable competitive advantage? Do you have something that you can do, like some strategy you can do that other people can't match? Like, do you have something you can break from the pack with? And his Sayer and Shed are something nobody else can really do. And it's some of the things they can do are very important. Like, they're super killy with Berserk, so they're not going to fall victim to morale plays and a bunch of other things. He can potentially have the strongest Doom stacks in the game.
And in comparison, Ulm just doesn't have those. I'm not aware of any in this time frame in the game. I can't think of any competitive advantage that Ulm has that other people can't count.
Yeah, and
so I agree with you. That's a really good
it's
point.
not a guarantee win. I think the odds are actually against him. I think it's pretty unlikely that he wins. I think it's probably, for me, I probably think it's like 15%, 20%, 15%. I think it's unlikely. However, there's a path, and the path is building up a couple of these armies. He doesn't need many, and he's going to need a lot of mage support for them, because it's going to have a ton of really valuable units in it, and the mages can't get assassinated.
Yes.
And so for him, it's like building up these golden armies, and he can maybe only afford 2, maybe 3 of them, right? And deploying them, and then he needs to not get picked apart by raiding while he has those out conquering his enemies.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, so I think that's it.
Okay. I think it's it.
We managed, despite having these slow turns, Marilyn, we have managed to get back to our hour episodes.
Yeah, but this was a 2-turn episode, so nifty. Well, the only trouble with the 2-turn episode is episode number is getting farther and farther from turn number.
We'll have to survive it.
Not that that's really
great. So next turn to 74, we will see you then.
Bye, guys.